guys and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new, my name is Emma. I am a comparative literature graduate and currently a film student. So, you guys asked many times, many times, and very long ago, but it's taken me this long to make this video because honestly I needed to switch my brain off. So I did my Bachelor of Arts at King's College London in Comparative Literature and I fucking loved it. Oh my god, did I love it. My channel is full now of booktube things and degree things because I loved my degree that much that I was like, I want to make content about this and share it with you because it makes me so happy. So I love my degree. I loved it a lot. My parents, with me and my siblings, were basically like, you know, with university, do whatever the fuck you want because you're probably going to do an MA anyway. We're currently doing MAs, so yeah, they were right about that. Kind of in a way, unless you have something really specific that you know you want to do what you enjoy, because if you do what you enjoy, you'll work harder, you'll do better, and you get more out of it. The people that I've seen do degrees with a trajectory in mind seem to suffer a hell of a lot more. Not that I didn't suffer, don't get me wrong. Everyone who does a degree does. But I really loved Comp Lit. I've already done a video about why I chose to do this as my degree. I will link it there for you and at the end. But today I just wanted to chat you through, you know, what exactly it is, what exactly I did. I have a list of all the modules that I did, and then just why I loved it so much. And then also any like career and sort of further prospects. Because a lot of you have asked me repeatedly, is it worth it? And that is such a hard question to answer, especially without having enough retrospect right now. I finished my degree last year in July is when I graduated, so it's not been very long. So for those of you who don't know, Comparative Lit at KCL was my first choice university when I applied, and I got in by the skin of my teeth, I won't lie, but I got in, and that's what matters. I graduated with a high 2-1. Well done me. Could have done better if I didn't do YouTube, but whatever. I'm gonna tell myself that's the case and that I prioritised other things and got the most out of it. I did it without destroying my mental health. That's what's important. But I chose comparative literature because I very much did not want to do English literature. I have always loved other stuff. I just, you know, it just gels with my worldview very well in terms of, you know, people translate, you read other texts, ideas circulate, a language does not stop an idea getting through, and just all of the books that I read and have read for my degree have made me very happy. So if you're thinking about doing comparative lit or English lit or lit in a target language, you know, just think about how much you read, and if you don't know what you like the most, do comparative literature because it's much better. But also because you get such a wide range of options of everything that you can do and read, and you can really, you know, you get a finger in every pie. And if you want to avoid Hamlet like the plague, you can until you do the romantics and then Goethe, but that's not the point. If you didn't have a good relationship with English literature or American literature, comparative literature is where it's at. And yes, as the name suggests, you compare. I don't know how to write an essay on just one text anymore. I think it's silly. I'm like, but why wouldn't you look at text in relation to everything else? Because everything influences everything. That's just how books and people and ideas work. Discuss. But Comp Lit just spoke to me so much as a person in terms of you get to do everything. Some people may disagree and then be like, well, you don't do anything properly. I'm like, well, I know how it works together. So, also skills wise, because you are comparing and seeing everything in the context of everything else, I think it gave me a lot of skills between going from the macro to the micro and then back out again. Because that is hard to see how it all works together. But again, something my dyslexic brain especially really enjoyed. But I'm sure you're all dying to know what exactly I did. I will pick out a few of my favourite modules, but I will link the entire list in the description. If I can find on the KCL website any more information about my degree, I'll put everything that I can find for you, any module descriptions, whatever, if that's what, you know, floats your boat. Obviously there are more modules available, this is just what I chose. Another thing about Comp Lit is because we do go over so much of, like, you know, everything, that then you are very free to go ahead and take modules from other departments because it's all going to work together anyway. You can go and do a SPLAS module, you can go and do a French module, you can go do classics module. It'll all make sense because it all works together. And if you guys love languages, again, this is the degree for you. You need them. You're actually required at KCL anyway to have them, because otherwise they're like, no. You need to speak another language. So, without any further ado, write written the text, Comparative Literature, Theoretical Foundations, the novel in 18th century Europe, genres of world literature. Some of you have definitely already slowed me down to 0.75 times the speed, but whatever, I'm not offended. Rise of a novel, literature, empire, ideas of nation, romantic Britain and Italy 1750 to 1820, the book in the modern world, the promise of poetry, what is poetic language, Caribbean drama, testimony, the Holocaust of Rwanda, shadows of enlightenment, topics in Afro-Brazilian culture, dissertation, the French Revolution effect, Italy, France, Germany, Greece, listening across the channel, sound and modern literature, neoclassicisms, aesthetics, politics, identities. I did a lot of really cool fucking stuff. If that sounded like it floated your boat, you would like Comp Lit. I am not sponsored by anybody to tell you how great Comp Lit is. I just fucking loved it. My god, it made me so happy. They also do a lot about post-colonialism. It's still very Eurocentric. I will be very upfront with you about that. But it tried a lot harder than other degrees, while yet still kind of fell short. It did its best, kind of. Comp Lit is also something that's an American degree, and only slowly but surely more people here are starting to, like, you know, give it. I will write down below for you some of the places I looked quite recently that actually now offer Comp Lit. I found quite a few places, and when I looked, this is now 5 years ago, that obviously I looked for my undergrad. These options were just not available. I only applied to 2 places and then later realised UCL also did Comp Lit and was like, oh. So only 2 places in London did Comp Lit when I applied. UCL is lying to me. Everything else I applied for, by the way, was French literature and language. No, Comp Lit was just, this was just the special one. Which is again why I see so much value in doing these videos. If, you know, it's still a relatively new degree in this country, you need to know that, like, what the frick it is. And yeah, a prospectus can only tell you so much. I can tell you that if you're the kind of person that loves to read everything and you like just love stories and you want to like, see how other people experience the world in different places, and this is a degree for you. Like, if you want to explore through books, go for it. We have all of time and all of the world to explore through literature, and that's a really, really nice thing. I love stories, I love books, I freaking love books. I mean, look at them. They're beautiful. My favourite modules, my favourite modules were definitely the 18th century ones. For those of you who don't know, my absolute love is 18th century, especially France and England. You know what, I'm obsessed. And that is definitely going to translate into my filmmaking. I can already feel it. It's expensive, I can already feel it. Whoops. You just get to sample so much, and then you can make your own mind up about what you want to read, what you want to read more of. They just sort of, you know, put you in contact with everything, and it's just great. You have such range and it's just fantastic, and it made me, I can't stress this enough, it made me very, very happy. And that's one of the reasons that I obviously would encourage you to do a degree that you think is going to make you happy, and that's why I'm glad that you're here if you want to like suss it out. I really was never bored. I really, really enjoyed my degree. Unfortunately, a lot of people I know on my degree got it as a second option after being rejected from English Lit, etc. I applied for it, so I was happy. But if you're in that boat, definitely don't feel like, you know, you've been exiled from what you wanted to do. Trust me, this is the better degree. No bias. You'll get more transferable skills because you know how to compare things. Yeah! It's not, don't call it World Lit though, because that makes me angry. I can't explain why, but it does. I think also it's just a lot less archaic, potentially, is how I'd put it. The people in the department just seem a lot more open-minded and less old. How can I do this without saying something that's gonna get me in trouble? Less old school. Lots of women. I never said this, and nobody on my degree said this, but my friends who did English Lit said this, that they like wished they'd done my degree, then wished they'd done Comp Lit, just because people said it was a less racist degree. Don't quote me on that, but like, there, if you want a bit of perspective on that. It's just, let's say, more all-encompassing. Yes, Comp Lit still has flaws, it does still look through things with a very Eurocentric and very white lens, but it seemed like it tried harder. And I think they did a very good job at trying to keep everything, even though you go so wide that you don't like spread yourself too thin. That was obviously reflected in my choices because of my preferences in terms of what I like to read, but this the freedom was great and made me, again, very, very happy. And I also took French. Was shit at French. Still am shit at French. But it was useful in my degree, I guess. And obviously I could have never ever written the dissertation that I did without having been able to do Comp Lit. Like, to just having to write on English literature is so boring. That's not how texts or people work. Like, let me talk about classics. I want to talk about the Romans too. Like, come on. Please. I really don't, unfortunately, know what you guys wanted from this video, apart from me gushing about how much I love my degree. If we want to talk about things like Was it worth it? I have no idea how to answer that right now. I'm only, you know, not even a year after doing my degree. And obviously I am now in further education. I'm studying an MA. Do I think my undergrad helped me get onto my film course? I think my YouTube helped me, so I can't really speak on it. I mean, a couple of people have come from literature degrees, particularly communications degrees, so unfortunately I don't know. But I just enjoy that Comp Lit sort of prompts you to read very, very widely, and everything and anyone, and, you know, not, I guess, to be pretentious in that way. I'm like, you know, read really contemporary stuff, read the classics, read everything, because you should. Like, why not? Aristotle Poetics has obviously come up quite a few times. The Greeks do come up. Like, it's like the basics that we should all do. And I know that it will influence me as a filmmaker because I do love adaptations, so source material galore over here, especially if you're wider read. I'm like, oh well, you didn't read this book, so I'm gonna turn it into film because I got there first. So I'm not really sure what you guys want to know. I can't really speak that much specifically about KCL just because I didn't really interact very much with it as a university. I went in for my lectures and then I went home. It was pretty much it. I don't think KCL is necessarily very supportive uni, at least for me it wasn't. I just kind of, you know, it was like school. I went in and I went home again. Would I recommend the course? Fuck yeah. Do I think it would have made a difference had I done it at Queen Mary's, which is my second choice, or if I'd actually realised UCL had that course? Would it have made a difference? Probably not. The only difference it would have made was that I wouldn't have the loves of my life, which are Ellie, Mirabelle and Annabelle. Ellie, Mirabelle. So I've got great friends out of it. A lot of people from my course though I know have gone on to further education, so it is a great starting block for if you want to do more, especially if you don't know what you want to do. I mean, that goes for the same with so many humanities. It's like, if you want those transferable skills, baby, this is the degree for you. I mean, when you're 18 and you're trying to like figure out the rest of your life, like how can you be expected to? So a degree like this, you know, it's good. It'll help you go into a grad program. It'll help you, yeah, I don't want to be like, it'll help you get a job, because I can't comment on that, and unfortunately never will be able to, because, you know, hopefully my master's degree is what helps me get a job. Come on, guys. If you're thinking about doing a degree like this, you have to do it because you love it. If I didn't love this degree, I would have had a miserable time. If you don't know what you want to do, or you know that your degree is in a way just that stepping stone, just those skills, just, you know, something that you kind of got to do. This is a great degree and I loved it very, very much. If you guys have specific questions, of course, ask me down below. I will do my best to get back to you and all that. Well, maybe some just like housekeeping kind of things. I had 8 contact hours a week. Then in my last year, I had 6 because your dissertation counts as 2 modules. So that time came down. I did not have maybe as many dissertation meetings and whatnot as I should have done. That's because I only really came up with my idea later, so that's like, I guess, half on me. I really enjoyed my lectures. I went to pretty most things. In second and third year, I think I went to almost everything. Didn't ever submit anything even a second late, because at King's, if you do, your mark gets capped at 40. And if you hand it in more than 24 hours late, you get 0. That never happened to me. Did submit things with minutes to spare, seconds to spare. King's is like, you fuck it up, you fucked it up. And I also think, truthfully, they had a good mix of exams and essays. I hate exams, and I only did exams for modules I really, really loved. So then it sort of balanced out in the end about how well I did. So they only took 2 exams. I'm dyslexic, I just can't write that quickly. I just can't do it. It's not how my brain works. Also, I spell like a 5-year-old child, which really helps. But you know, your lecturers are the ones marking it. They're understanding people. Just say it to them and be like, help. So yeah, I guess if you're similar to me, if you love to read around and read as much as freaking possible, yeah, it's a great degree. Do I recommend doing it at KCL over other places? Maybe not. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, mainly because I wasn't very, like I said, involved in that KCL lifestyle. So I guess I'd recommend it just because I don't know any better, and I think they have just been doing it for that bit longer though, so they just know what they're doing a little bit more. As a degree, it'll expand your horizons, and I really loved a lot of my lecturers. You just gotta know you and what floats your boat. If you're really worried about getting a job, you know, do something like economics. Like, do something where it's like career focused and whatnot, if that's what you fancy. If you've got no fucking clue what the hell is going on, this is a degree for you. That is my official opinion. Just stay open-minded about literature, about other cultures, about how other people live their lives and the stories they all have to tell. Also, for my dyslexics out there, if you're really worried about maybe doing a literature degree, even though that's what you love, my stubborn ass did it. You can really learn the system. You can always try your best with all of the text. Sometimes it's a book a week, but luckily not always. If you try and do all the secondary reading and everything, you will just kill yourself doing it. I guarantee you that. But it is very interesting if you love it. You know, when you have to come and write essays, you only need to write it on a couple books, so you only need to fully read those ones. So really, if you're dyslexic, if you're worried about it, but it's something that you love, you can figure out a way to make it work for you, and you can do something that you adore. I promise you. Read a 500-page book for one of my essays because I loved it so much. So the love needs to be there. That is probably the most important thing. I'm really happy that I did this degree. I'm just so gassed, but I loved it so much. And that's it. Me and all my books. Many of them that I have not read, but many that I have and, you know, took a chance on because that's what I was learning about. I know, yeah, you do a lot of philosophy, you do a lot of poetry, you do just plays. Not that many plays, not gonna lie, but it was great and I had a great time. Should we have like "it's great" counter somewhere on the screen of how many times I said that? If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will really try and get back to you because I know me gushing about my degree isn't like the most like necessarily helpful thing in the world, but I really loved it. If you like me and you like my videos, you're gonna love Comp Lit because clearly it's all come from a place of like we love books. And yeah, career-wise, transferable skills, baby. And if you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. You don't need to. If you're choosing what degree you want to do now, don't worry. I know that it feels like the most overwhelming fucking thing in the world because you feel like you're choosing the rest of your life, but you can do Comp Lit and then you can do whatever you want. Admittedly, most of the people I know at the moment are doing further education or are just looking for things or have done grad schemes. When you finish your undergrad, you're gonna feel lost regardless, or you'll feel trapped because your trajectory is more set in stone if you did like econ and then a grad scheme, or if you want to do medicine, or if you want to do law, like that. I could not deal with that because I think I've got commitment issues. So yeah, whatever floats your boat, let me know what you want to know because this was not a very well planned video, clearly, but I know that you needed it. But yeah, we all know Emma loved her degree and now she gonna make films. So channel there, say hi. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, like, subscribe and all the jazz, and I will see you guys very soon. And again, I mean it this time. Bye. Damn it, where is that? I'm wasting time. This is why you shoot on film and learn on film, because this is not the discipline that I have.